Welcome to the Garden Report, powered by Blue Apron and ZipRecruiter. My name is Jared Weiss. This is Michael Pina to my right. The Celtics just won 113-109 over the Detroit Pistons, and you are watching the Garden Report post-game show on CLNS and Celtics blog. So I'm trying to figure out what we should talk about, and I feel like maybe Isaiah Thomas might make sense because he was pretty good in the fourth quarter.
That's probably a good idea.
You could say he had a royal performance in the fourth quarter.
It was a very good performance. 24 points in the fourth, 41 in the game. He's averaging 33 for the month of January.
32.9. I was corrected on that.
I
rounded up. Yeah.
And just the way he gets his buckets is ridiculous. You look at the ways that coaches and teams are scheming against him. They have no answers. You can't trap him. You can't double him off the high screens. He's a step ahead on everything. His passes are crisp. He had 8 assists also tonight, I believe. And every shot he hits every shot he takes goes in. If he's open, it goes in. This is a Steph Curry level shooting performance of the past couple weeks from him, and I don't know how you stop it.
So on the season, he becomes the third player to have at least 35 in 8 games, joining Russell Westbrook and Isaiah and James Harden, obviously. So he's punching in the same class as the runaway MVP candidates are this year. It's incredible. I talked to Stan Van Gundy after the game about how were you trying to defend him there. They said that they were trying to blitz him on the pick and rolls, but then one thing they did was they give Smart the ball and then it kind of frees Isaiah to run through all the different screens. And you can try to double that, but he's like a slithery snake. He finds his way to an open spot somewhere.
You can't double guys off the ball. That's extremely difficult, especially when you have the ball in another playmaker's hands like Marcus Smart or Al Horford, guys who know what to do with it and find the open man. So he creates problems all over the floor. They use him as a screener sometimes in decoy action. If the season ended today, he'd probably be 5th in the MVP vote. I think he would be on a second-team All-NBA guard with Westbrook, Harden, and Steph Curry. I don't know what else there is to say. He should be starting in the All-Star game too. So,
yeah, but John Wall, I can't imagine he doesn't win Player of the Month for this month. I mean, he averaged almost 33 points a game. By the way, he needed 1 point tonight to average 33, or 1 more point than he had tonight to average 33 for the month, which would have been just him, Bird, and Paul Pierce in Celtics history doing that. So
he came up short.
Yeah,
loser.
He came up a little guy on that one. What a pathetic player. The big thing though is that you try to analyze how do you stop Isaiah Thomas, but a lot of those baskets are just well contested threes, or he'll shoot from 28 feet out if you're guarding him at 25. I feel like he's gotten to the point, which is kind of obvious by what we're saying, where teams can't really game plan against him because he's just too good and he'll beat whatever game plan they have.
Yeah, and he hits contested shots, as you said, and basically the narrative around him for so long has been, oh, he's 5'9", look how great he is for a 5'9" player. Oh, he was drafted 60th overall, dead last. Look how unbelievable his story is. And it's just like, no, just compare him to everybody else on the same field. He's up there with the best players in the world. I don't think this is a fluke. I think this is Isaiah Thomas.
He is not good at defense, apparently, as if you go on Twitter, which I'm sure you've been on Twitter this week. He's not very good at defense. The net rating numbers are very unfavorable for him tonight. He had the worst differential on the team at -10. He had a -5 differential in the fourth quarter, even though he scored 24 freaking points in the fourth quarter. So we were kind of talking about it before we go on the air. I think that a lot of it is that he plays with that bench unit at the beginning where he's kind of carrying them offensively. But what do you think that's something to be concerned about?
Well, he played the entire fourth, only player on the team to do that. So plus or minus for a 12-minute span is going to be pretty screwy. For the year, you're right. The net ratings have not been great for him. The on-off numbers have not been great. And if you watch it, teams do attack him religiously on that end. And there's really nothing he can do about it. He tries his hardest, but he's so small he can't contest. Guards, you try to hide him, and teams use his man as a screener to force switches and attack. So in the playoffs, that's going to be really interesting, especially when teams have a day in between games to prepare and really scheme against him. But I don't know. I mean, I personally think that the offense is way more important and impressive than the negative parts of the defense.
I mean, do people in Portland or Golden State really complain about this? I mean, Lillard's a minus offender. Curry's like just short of neutral, and they put up comparable offensive performances. So, I mean, as someone that covers the whole league, do you see this as really just the norm for a lot of great scoring point guards?
Well, I would say if we're talking about Lillard, his team has underperformed. The defense on that team has underperformed. He's not an all-star.
I'm thinking more last year when he played at this level.
We look at Curry. I think he gets a pass because that team's defense is top in the league, and he plays heavy minutes. So you just assume that he's average or plus defender. But last year in the finals, we all saw him get exposed by LeBron James. So it is a little bit of a black eye, I think, for Isaiah, the defense. But again, when you're doing what he's doing offensively, the ability to put the ball in the basket is the most important thing in the sport. He does it better or just as well as anybody in the league right now.
All right, well, to reiterate, 24 points in the fourth quarter. That is unreal. Before we go to part two, don't forget you can go to Blue Apron, use the code Garden Report, blueapron.com/Garden Report to get 3 free meals and free shipping. You will become a master chef in your own kitchen. And of course, ZipRecruiter, best place to post a job on the internet. Post to over 200 job sites at ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. We'll be right back on part 2 of the Garden Report.